Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Quarters studio. Welcome to the show. So today's the very last day of the Kaldheim pre-spoilers, I think that's right. The Week of Metal spoilers. We won't be getting, after today, we won't be getting another spoiler until I believe the 24th of December, and then we start up with actual spoiler season on January 7th. If you want to know how this schedule actually works out, I've got an episode on that. It's kind of complicated. Anyways, we have an exciting new commander that does something completely different that we've never seen a commander card or any card really do before. This is an MDFC Commander. That's a modal dual face card. Now, we've seen MDFCs come out recently with the lands that have two sides or the sorceries that has a land on the back. But this one, well, let's just jump into it with Halvar, God of Battle. And Sword of the Realms, I should say. Basically, again, this is an MDFC Commander. One side is a creature. The other side is a legendary artifact equipment. So, yeah, let's jump into it. So, Halvar, God of Battle is a 4/4 god that costs 2 white. Creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to target creature you control to target creature you control. And then Sword of the Realms, the other side, so you can cast it for either one that you want, is an equipment, again, that costs 1 and a white. It says equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has vigilance. Whenever equipped creature dies, return to its owner's hand, equipped for 1 and a white. Now, the first question that I'm sure is on a lot of people's minds is, you can cast either side of this, but does commander attacks apply to both? I believe, yes, the same commander tax applies to both. Please correct me in the comments below if I'm incorrect. But yeah, basically, if you put Halvar out, it dies. You cast it, as a sword. You're going to have to pay 2 extra for whichever side that you cast it as. Again, correct me if I'm incorrect in the comments below, but I believe that's how it works. But yeah, this is the very first, dual face commander that we've ever seen. That we can actually cast either side. Again, either as a god or as an equipment. Let's go through the god side first. This is a pretty powerful commander. Again, basically giving all of your creatures double strike as long as they're or equipped or enchanted. So yeah, you're going to be doing, a deck that's built around either auras or equipment. Equipment is probably a bit safer, in case the creature is dealt with. You can, attach the equipment to something else. If the aura, if the creature's dealt with and it's got an aura on it, it's going to go away. That second part is decent, not all that great. Basically kind of saves you on a re-equip cost, or it can move an aura around, which you usually wouldn't be able to do. But yeah, basically letting you move an aura from one of your creatures to another. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't say attached to a creature. So, if you just had, whatever that Colossus hammer is, on your field that costs so much to equip, you didn't have to pay for that. You could just move it on. But that's not how it works. Probably a little more fair this way. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, with this kind of a commander building in, an equipment deck, go wide, get a bunch of equipment on your creatures and swing out. Seems like a mono white commander, kind of, equipment-based commander. Sword of the Realms, the other side, it's a decently powerful equipment in itself. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has vigilance. That's not bad. Whenever equipped creature dies, return to its owner's hand, brings the creature back. So it's kind of like a protection on top of, a pump. But yeah, the ironic thing, and many people have pointed this out so far, that I've seen, is that many gods that we've seen so far in other sets have had some sort of protection, whether that's indestructible or when it dies, it comes back to your hand at the end of the turn or goes, in the top 3 cards of your library or something or other. Halvar doesn't. So it's looking like the Norse gods don't. And actually, in the mythology, apparently the Norse gods die quite a bit. So, again, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm not an expert in Norse mythology, but that kind of fits the flavor. The ironic thing is, and that's also been pointed out, in Standard, obviously, you can use, 4 versions of this card, whereas in Commander, you cannot. So if you happen to cast Halvar, you can actually cast your Sword of the Realms as the second one, and then you can attach that, and then Halvar kind of, protects itself with his own sword. So kind of funny that way. So yeah, basically the way that I would build around this, again, I would really focus on equipment that is cheap to equip to start. So things like Bonesaw, Shuko, and Grafted War Gear. Bonesaw just costs 0 to get out, so that's really cheap. +1/+0, and then equip 1. Again, that +1/+0 is kind of like a +2/+0 with this kind of a deck, because again, your commander gives double strike, which, just basically doubles up the damage. Shuko costs 0 to equip, so that's huge. An equipped creature gets +1/+0. Again, just being able to, once you get your creatures out there, just freely attach things to give them double strike immediately can be pretty huge. Grafted War Gear, +3/+2. Whenever it becomes unattached from a permanent, sacrifice that permanent, equip 0. So this is a huge upside, obviously. Basically, again, with a double strike, giving +6 power on that hit. But yeah, if someone deals with your Grafted War Gear, that creature is dead as well, so be careful what you attach it to. Now, the other thing that I thought about with this kind of a deck that would be really fun is Death Touch. Basilisk Collar, Gorgon Flail, and Quiet Spike come to mind. Basilisk Collar gives Death Touch and Lifelink. Again, when you have Double Strike or First Strike, Death Touch is insane with that because your creature is going to hit first, so even just 1 point of damage is going to kill that creature. So yeah, Death Touch is huge for, again, either First Strike or Double Strike. With this case, whenever you're attaching any of your creatures, they get Double Strike immediately. Gorgon Flail, Death Touch, +1/+1, so that's great. Quiet Spike, even better in this kind of a deck. Equipped creature has Death Touch. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded up. Yeah, with double strike, if you get through with your creature, it hits twice. So that effect stacks twice. Again, I'm not going to do the math on how much life someone would lose even if they were at 40. I believe if they were 40, they'd go down to 20 and then 10. But correct me in the comments if I'm incorrect. But yeah, that's a 30 life loss just for one hit. Pretty cool with this kind of a commander. You also kind of want other equipment in this deck that give other kind of effects. Like Forebearer's Blade, +3/+0, Vigilance, Trample. Trample's probably going to be a pretty big thing with this kind of a deck, so you can actually get some damage through, or other types of evasion you might want as well, like maybe flying. Vigilance can be big as well to help you protect yourself. And then that +3/+0, again, I think the power is a lot more important when you have Double Strike. Double Strike is kind of a way to protect your own creature when it's attacking anyway, since it hits first. But yeah, +3/+0, again, that's like +6 power to whatever you're adding it to. If you put that on your commander is going to be hitting for 14 essentially. So yeah, that's a 2-shot kill just with this. And then whenever a equipped creature dies, you attach Forebearer's Blade to target creature you control. So this one just kind of moves around on its own, which can be great. Let's talk about some potential enchantments that you might want to add into this deck as well. Again, I did say that, I would probably focus on equipment because it's a bit safer. But if you've got some Anthem effects out there, like Brave the Sands are always watching, those can come in really handy as well. Vigilance can be a great thing for a deck like this. Brave the Sands says creatures you control have Vigilance. Each creature you control can block additional creature each combat. This is just a fantastic way to protect yourself. So again, this deck is going to want to be aggressive and swing. But being able to swing and also stay back is huge. And then being able to block twice as many creatures is great. Always Watching is an Anthem. It says non-token creature you control get +1/+1 and have Vigilance. So yeah, pumping your creatures, again, that's basically an extra 2 power because if your creatures are equipped. And Vigilance, again, is great. Let's move on to some creatures, though, that you might want to include in this kind of a deck. I typically think that with this kind of a deck, you probably want to include creatures that can really protect themselves. Again, you're going to be kind of dedicating a lot of resources on the field, swinging and whatnot. You want creatures that can protect themselves, so in case there's a board wipe or in case, combat doesn't work out the way that you think it will, that basically your creatures can stay there. Danto Vanguard, as long as it's attacking, gets +2/+0. Again, when it's got Double Strike, that's basically an extra 4. You pay 4 life and it gains indestructible until end of turn, so yeah, that's definitely going to be worth keeping it around when it's going to be hitting hard with all those equipment that you're going to have attached to it. Darksteel Juggernaut actually can be a really cool card with this kind of a deck. It's indestructible, and its power toughness are each equal to the number of artifacts you control. It attacks each combat if able. Again, you want to attack with this kind of a deck anyways, and again, the more equipment that you get on the field, the bigger this gets. So yeah, equip it up, give it Double Strike, and swing through. Frontline Medic has Battalion. Whenever it and at least 2 other creatures attack, creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. You can also sacrifice it to counter an X spell unless they pay 3. But yeah, you're going to be swinging out with a good amount of creatures. So as long as you attack with 3 creatures, including the Frontline Medic, those creatures get indestructible until end of turn, which can be huge. Again, pair that up with your own board wipe at the end of the turn, in the second main phase, and wipe out your opponent's creatures while yours have indestructible. So yeah, that's a good way to do it. You also are going to want to protect your commander, obviously. Shielded by Faith is a good way to do that. It has indestructible. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you can attach Shielded by Faith to that creature. So if you need to move it around, you can. You can already do it with your commander anyways, but yeah. And Darksteel Plate, if you've got the money in your budget for Darksteel Plate, always a great card for an equipment-based deck. Equipped creature is indestructible, and this thing's indestructible, so it's really hard to deal with. Let's talk about some card advantage. Again, Mono White really struggles with card advantage, but some things that can really help with this kind of deck are Shram, Senior Edificer, and Pure Steel Paladin. Shram says, whenever you cast an or equipment or vehicle, draw a card. Yeah, definitely the Ore and Equipment are going to be the ones that you're going to be working with. You can run vehicles in this deck if you really want to, I guess. And Pure Steel Paladin says, whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under control, you may draw a card. And it's got Metalcraft. Equipment you control have equip 0 as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. That's going to be very easy for this deck to meet. So yeah, you're basically going to have equip 0 and you can just move your equipment around however you need to. Again, Halvar, God of Battle and Sword of the Realms, is a brand new type of commander that we've never seen before, an MDFC Commander, one that we can use either side. I think, again, if you're going to be building a deck around a commander, you're probably going to build it around the God side and not the equipment side, but you know what? I could be very wrong. Maybe you want to build the deck specifically around the equipment side. So yeah, now it's my turn to hear from you, though. Let me know which side you would build around. What do you think of this MDFC type commander? And if you were going to build around that equipment side, how would you build the deck? So yeah, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks again and have a good one.